everybody, and welcome to another exciting broadcast of Life and Leadership with Segun Oke. If you are live, then please let me know that I am not by myself tonight. Say something in the comments. That's how I know that you are there. Say hello, say hi. All right, Fumi Abino, good evening. Thank you for being here. It's good to have you with me. All right, if you are there, please say something in the comments. And the moment you log in, do me a favor, spread the word. Joseph Aduku, I see you. Do me a favor, share the link with one or two persons. Go ahead, put it on WhatsApp, send it directly to somebody. All right, share it in a group you belong to. Let somebody know that Life and Leadership with Segun Oke is live. All right. Go ahead. Share it with a friend. Or Joseph Ajayi, I see you. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Adenrele Oke, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me here tonight. Eunice Samuel, I see you. You are welcome. So go ahead. Tell somebody that we are live. All right, I'm just going to wait for just about less than a minute, and then we're going to kick off into our material for tonight. So please go ahead and share the link if you have not done so. Share the link with one or two persons. Let them know what's going down right now on YouTube. All right. We've been exploring the book Moving Forward for about 3 weeks now, and I want to believe that it's been an exciting experience for you. The time we have will not permit me to recap quite a lot of what we have covered before now. I'm just going to say a little bit about what we said last week or what we covered last week, and then we're going to move on into tonight's material. Let me say this from the outset. I want you to get your writing material ready. Please get your writing material ready. We are going to do some calculations, very basic calculations tonight. So please get your writing materials ready. And then we are going to do a bit of calculations tonight. But let me remind you what we covered last week, a little bit of what we covered last week. Last week I told you that you need a dream team. You need a dream team. From chapter 3 of the book Moving Forward was our focus last week. I said you need a dream team. The big idea we considered last Wednesday is that in life, you don't go as far as your dream. You go as far as your team. You don't go as far as your dream. You go as far as your team. Okay? That's the reason why football clubs in the transfer window will bring in better players while they let go of aging players or non-performers. That is something that each and every one of us must be doing in our lives. Now, it's not like we get rid of people, but you do some sort of stock taking and you define and review your relationships. You don't even have to communicate with people. You are the one that just needs to know, you know what, for where I am and where I am going, this is who this person is to me. This is the role this person is supposed to play in my life. We saw the example of Jesus in Mark chapter 3 and from verse 13 last week, where, we extracted the principle that you don't need everybody to reach everybody. You don't need everybody to reach everybody. And I added to it that you cannot reach everybody with just anybody. In Mark chapter 3, we read it last week, Jesus climbed to a mountain. Then he invited some people, not everybody. Then out of the people he invited, he chose 12. So there were people who were not invited. But everybody invited climbed the mountain. And there were people who climbed the mountain but who did not return with an appointment. I told you last week, life is like business, or life is business. You run your life by principles, not by sentiments. And so last week I shared with you how I choose and define the people that I do life with. I told you about the 3 C's: character, competence, and chemistry. Character, competence, and chemistry. These are 3 qualities I consider when choosing people to do life with, or when I'm choosing my team, or when I am reviewing and defining my relationships. We also talked about the inward witness, the primary way that God leads is children. And I explained to you that when I am making a decision that involves other people, or decisions that I have to explain to other people, the 3 C's gives me a framework I can use to define and help other people understand the reason why this person is on the team or this person is not on the team. But ultimately, as a child of God, my primary way of making decisions is the inward witness. And that's what we covered last week. If you are yet to read chapter 3 of the book, of course, I'm going to encourage you to get the book and read the book. Like I've said severally, I don't even want to call it a book anymore. It's a booklet. Okay, it's a booklet. All right, something you can read in less than a day. So do yourself a favor and get this book. And if you have it already, this is a book you read more than once. Okay, you read over and over again. You make reference to from time to time. Now, our topic for today is from chapter 4 of the book, and it is titled, You Have to Run. You have to run. Now, if you believe that progress is your design, you will be intentional about moving forward. And for those who are just joining us for the first time, this is perhaps a summary of what we have covered and what the book is all about. You were created, or you were designed for progress. If you truly believe that progress is your design, then you will be intentional about moving forward. In other words, wherever you find yourself, whatever you are doing right now, you know, as long as I am joined to the living, I have possibilities. And you are going to begin to do everything, okay, to move forward. First, you will ensure that you maintain clarity. And then you will strategically assemble, okay, your team. You will define your relationships, and you will review your relationships, okay, regularly, if you truly believe that progress is your design. In other words, when you're doing life with a set of people, or you are in a state or a condition in life, you don't say to yourself, this is all that there is to me. You know, okay, I have more. Okay, there is more to me. There is more within me. There is more I can achieve. Now watch this. The moment you believe in progress, you believe you were designed for progress, the moment you maintain clarity and you have selected your team, believe you me, you are better than most. You have done better than most people. I can assure you, you are already in the top 20% in the society. That's the truth. There's just one more thing that you need to do, and that's what chapter 4 is all about. You have to run, okay? You have to run. When I say you have to run, I mean you have to live with a sense of urgency. You see, life is not a competition. Nevertheless, it is a race against time. Let me say that again. Life is not a competition. However, it is a race against time. In other words, you are not in competition with anybody, but you are in a race against time. You see, there is this window of 40 years. Okay, I like to call it the 40-year window. It is between the age of 20 and 60. Okay, in that 40-year window, your mental, emotional, and physical faculties are at their peak. This is when most of us achieve, okay, we achieve the most. This is where we live our lives, okay? This is where most of us are productive. Listen, what you do in this 40-year window will determine your legacy and the quality of your life afterwards. That's important. I need to repeat it. What you do with your 40-year window will determine your legacy and the quality of your life afterwards. So you need to ask yourself, what am I doing with my 40-year window? Okay, from the age of 20 to the age of 60. I assume that most of the people listening to me now are in that 40-year window. If you are beyond the age of 60, I've got something to say to you as we progress along. But this is what you must realize, that the word success is very relative. It's a relative term. It does not mean the same thing for everybody. You see, your success is not measured compared to other people. It is rather what you achieved compared to what you could have achieved. At the beginning of our time together, I told you to get your writing materials ready. This is a time for you to use your writing material. People who know me well know I like to use simple arithmetic calculations to explain concepts. And that's what I want to do tonight. We want to calculate success, and I want to give you a very simple formula. This is it. Potential multiplied by time multiplied by performance equals success. I want you to write this down quickly. I'm going to give you less than a minute to do that. Write it down. Potential multiplied by time, and of course you can see the bracket open and bracket closed. It's important that you write it down the way I have shown it to you now. Potential multiplied by time, bracket closed, multiplied by performance equals success. I hope you've written it down. Now let's explain what we mean. The word potential there means your possibilities under God. And I want you to write down. Now, beside the word potential, I want you to write 100. Please just write it down. It's important you write it down because we're going to do some simple calculations. And what I want you to do is, beyond our time together, I want you to be able to use this concept to explain this to other people and to also apply it to yourself. So, potential there means your possibilities in God. And because with God all things are possible, because you are a creator of immense possibilities, we will use the number 100. The next variable there is time. Now, for time, it is how many years you spent in clarity between the age of 20 and 60. Okay? How many years you spent in clarity. And you remember when we talked about clarity, self-awareness, and vision, knowing who you are, knowing why you are, knowing your unique assignment, knowing what you are supposed to do next, okay? When you have clarity. Now, between the age of 20 and 60, the number of years you spend in clarity is what we are going to call time. So, the highest you can have here is 40. Between 20 and 60, that means the highest number there is 40. The next variable is performance. Performance means drive and skillfulness, okay? The drive and skillfulness you applied in the pursuit of your dream. The drive and skillfulness you applied in the pursuit of your dream. The lowest score you can get here is 20 and the highest is 80. I want to believe you are writing these things down, okay? If you are not writing, you miss the fun. I'm going to give you 1 minute or less than a minute to write these things down. Let me go back to the formula for those who caught up late or who did not start writing on time, okay, so that you can truly write this down. Let's go back to the formula. Bracket open, potential, multiplied by time, bracket closed, multiplied by performance equals success. Okay? Equals success. All right. I hope you've written it down. And again, potential is 100. Time is between 20 and 60. The amount of years you spent in clarity. I'm really going to use some examples to explain it. But if you didn't write, okay, you might not be able to repeat this, okay, subsequently. That's why I want you to write it down, okay? And I told you the highest number you can have here is 40. All right, that's 60 minus 20. The highest number is 40. And then performance means the drive and skillfulness applied in the pursuit of your dream. Okay, the lowest score is 20 and the highest is 80. So let's assume we have a friend called Andy. We want to calculate Andy's success. This is what it looks like. So let's assume that, of course, Andy's potential is 100. Let's assume that Andy gained clarity at the age of 40. So he spent 20 years between 40 and 60, okay, in clarity. He gained clarity at 40, and then he pursued his vision from the age of 40 to the age of 60 with a performance level of 50. Don't forget, the lowest is 20, the highest is 80. Let's assume he was at level 50. Calculating his success, we are going to have 100,000. Okay, 100,000. It is as we compare, that's when this concept will come alive. Now, let's assume that instead of Andy gaining clarity at the age of 40, what if he gained clarity at the age of 20? This is what it will look like. Potential is still 100. Now the time spent pursuing his vision now becomes 40. Let's assume his performance level, his drive and skillfulness, he pushed to 80. Andy's success level will be 320,000. Can you see that? The difference in the two comparisons now is the age at which he gained clarity and his performance level. Okay, when he gained clarity at 40 and his performance level was at 50, all he could get was 100,000. But if he gained clarity earlier and he gave himself some drive, some push, some passion in the pursuit of his goals, of his dreams, now he has pushed up to 320,000. Okay, now let's calculate for you. Okay, let's calculate for you. Or maybe let's just make this very interactive. For those who have been writing, I want you to give yourself the variables, whatever you want to give yourself. Potential is 100. Okay, if you are clear now, use your current age. Okay, minus 60 to determine time, and then give yourself performance level based on self-evaluation on a scale of 20 to 80. How would you rate your own performance? Are you a level 20? Are you a level 30? Are you a level 40? Okay, calculate and quickly put your response in the comments. Let me see what we're going to have here this evening. So I am waiting. And mind you, there is a little bit of lag between the time that I say something and the time you hear it. It's just less than a minute, but there's a lag. So you need to be fast so that we don't lose time. Quickly, let me see what you are going to give me. Your potential is 100. What if you gained clarity at 35 and your performance level is at 50? What do you get? Okay, what if you gain clarity at 40? What if you gain clarity at 50? Okay, just do your calculation. Put your numbers in the comments. Humor me tonight. Let me see the result we're going to come up with. And then I'm going to share one more illustration with you and we are going to proceed. Quickly, I'm waiting for you. Okay. Josephine Alabi says 200,000. Okay. Maybe you should show workings. Okay. Every other person, please show workings. How did you get to that score? Your potential is 100. What age did you give yourself at gain clarity? What's your drive? What's your skillfulness level like? Okay. Joseph says 160,000. Okay, thank you very much. Show workings. Please don't forget, success is relative. Your success is not measured in comparison to other people. It is what you have achieved in comparison to what you could have achieved. Okay, I'm still waiting for responses. I've gotten 2 people. All right, let other people please respond and show workings. If you can, let me know how you came about your response. Okay, while I wait, let me share this third illustration with you. Okay, Joseph, thank you. 132.50. So I knew that quite a number of people are going to give themselves 50 when it comes to skill and drive. Okay, we always like to stay in the middle, somewhere safe. I'm not too low, I am not too high. All right. So Fumi Abino says 140, 70. Okay, that's 280. Now, let me show you this illustration. Every other person, please keep the responses coming in. Now, look at this. Look at this. Imagine that, yes, your potential is 100. Let's assume you gain clarity at 30. All right. Now, your performance is the variable. And the beauty of it is that no matter what your age is, no matter when you gained clarity, you can always decide to push up your drive and your performance. Okay. So look at this now. If your performance level is at 20, you will get 60,000. If you push your performance level to 80, you will get 240,000. Okay? And that's the reason why, I came up with this simple, exercise to just help us to understand, look, there's nothing I can do about when I gain clarity, whether it's 40, whether it's 50, but the one thing I have control on from now on is my drive and my skill. My drive and my skill. And I'm saying if I gain clarity at 30, there's nothing I can do about it. But I can move from a 20 in performance to an 80. And for me, that's what I want to devote the rest of our time together to. How to become that person that lives with a sense of urgency. Okay, Dr. Banji says 130, 60, and that's 180,000. So imagine what happens if you can push from 60 to 80. That is the only control we actually have in life. All right, Eunice is 150,000, and Osadebe is I don't know what you are thinking about. Is it that you are not yet clear? Or your drive level is below 20 because you did not do any working? Yours is just, All right. Yeah, Dr. Banji, thank you. 140, 60, that gives us 240. James Ward is at 135,000. Now, let me ask you this question as we proceed tonight. How many active years do you have left? Okay, how many active years do you have left? Now, to calculate your active years, all you need to do is minus your current age from 60. Okay, and I'm going to say something to those who are 60 and above in a moment, but minus your current age from 60. The number you get is the number of active years you have left. Now, in that number of years, your drive, okay, and your passion, your drive and your skillfulness will determine your success level. And I told you that your success level after 60 determines your legacy and determines the quality of your life afterwards. Okay? So, what of that person who is above 60? And honestly speaking, because I'm even way below 50, when I conceived some of these ideas, when I share some of these ideas, the truth is, I'm not even thinking about 60 and above. But I've had sessions, okay, one in Lekki, all right, another session was in New Jersey, where I had people in the room who were above 60, okay, and the man that was above 60 in Lekki at the end of the session came to me and said, I'm over 60, but I still learned a lot from what you shared with us today. Okay, in Nairobi, I met a couple, husband and wife. The two of them were above 60, and throughout the session, they were just throwing jabs, at each other, throwing banters. The wife was telling the man, see, it's over for you. You are above 60. And after the session, they came to me and we got talking. And I learned a lot from them that, look, even when you are beyond 60, okay, you fall into different categories. There are people who are above 60 and who say to themselves, oh, I'm grateful to God. I did the right things at the right time. Even though I'm above 60 right now, I lived a good life. My legacy is fantastic. The quality of my life is rich. Or there are people who say, wow, I wish I knew this 20 years ago. I wish I knew this 30 years ago. Now I'm above 60. What am I supposed to do? What you are supposed to do is make the most of what is in your hand with the time that you have left. Yes, you won't be as fast as you used to be. You won't be as sharp as you used to be. You won't be as, strong as you used to be. But what the Bible says is that to him that is joined to the living, there is hope. So what such persons need to do is now I don't have so much time left and I need to live with a sense of urgency. Above 60 now, you need to be, very sharp with your focus. You can't afford to play around. You can't afford to, pretend like you are still as young as some other persons. And this is what I found out. Some people after 60 actually achieve much more than those who are below 60 because of that sense. You see, they've lived life. Okay, there is a lot that does not distract them anymore. At over 60, I'm not sure there's anything that is enjoyable on earth that a man has not enjoyed. That's why you find out that some people, even after 60, is when they succeed. The Colonel Sanders of this world, okay, because they are focused. Okay, the Grandma Moses of this world, okay, the Abrahams of this world. So it's not too late even after 60, but the best time is before 60. Okay, my message to you tonight is run to win. Don't just run. Run to win. We have showed you that you have to run. We have showed you the number of active years you have left. And what your active years should do to you is to inspire you to run. There's a proverb I like sharing a lot. It is this: when you see a full-grown adult running in broad daylight, he is either pursuing something or something is pursuing him. And I like to say this to people. Even if you forget what you are running after or what you are pursuing, remember what is pursuing you. When a person gets to 50, 60, and the person has not lived a life, a life of success, the person has not laid the right foundation, planted the right seeds, their old years will be lonely. Their old years will be in deprivation. You don't want to be that person. So you want to do something right now. You want to build the right relationships. You want to be the person that is so valuable that even in your old age, people want to do life with you. So my message to you is run to win. I lifted a few words from chapter 4 of the book that I want to share with you. Let's read together. Winning in life means achieving your goals, fulfilling your potential, and positively impacting the world. It demands clarity, strategy, and most importantly, discipline. People who lose sight of what is at stake, that is the brevity of time, will live casually, without discipline and a sense of urgency. They will run, but not win. My prayer is that will not be you. You are not just going to run, you are going to win. So run to win. I'm going to share a few suggestions with you, but before I do, let's read the words of Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24 to verse 27. He said, "Don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize. So I run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadow boxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified." So run to win. And this is one thing I've noticed about winners in life. Winners are intentional about everything. I remember one of my mentors, granted an interview, and the journalist said, something we've observed about you is that you are very, very intense. Now when somebody tells you you are very, very intense, the likelihood is, the likely thing is for an average person to say, no, I am not, but I was surprised. This role model of mine looked at the journalist in the face and said, yes, I am very, very intense. Okay, I am very, very intense. I remember PK, we call him PK, Pastor Kunle Shoriyotu used to say such things in those days, where he said, people would tell me, oh, you're looking good today. He said, I will respond, yes, it's intentional. Somebody tells you, oh, that's a fantastic presentation. Yes, it's intentional. I had such an experience today with, one of my role models. I got this inspiration to present a copy of my book Moving Forward to him. So I went to him today and I presented the hardback of the book to him. And There were other people around. The moment he touched the book, he took his eye away from, everybody, and just looked at the book and looked me in the face and said, "This is very excellent. This is good." I mean, just looking at the packaging of the book. I couldn't bring myself to respond like PK, but inside my heart I said, yes, it's intentional. Okay, it's intentional. And that's the way I want you to live your life, just like Paul the Apostle advised us to do. He said, I run with purpose in every step. You've got to be intentional about everything. That's how to run to win. Winners live a life of discipline. They do what they have to do when they have to do it, regardless of the way they feel. My message to you once again is run to win. Don't just run. Now, at this point, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to give you everything in the book. Like I've said severally, I just want to say enough to inspire you to go to the book and cover the rest yourself. So towards the end of chapter 4, I shared with you 4 suggestions, or I share with you in the book 4 suggestions on how to run to win. I'm just going to gloss over them right now, and we're going to round up. This is the first one. Run, don't walk. Okay? Run, don't walk. Running implies speed and consistency. It implies efficiency. Running means that you are doing the most with what you have. Like I said before now, it means that you are intentional about everything. Walking, on the other hand, implies a casual, leisurely pace. Walking is comfortable, okay? Walking leads to complacency, okay? Walking may eventually get you there, but it is running that ensures you arrive on time. So run, don't walk. Number 2, prepare to run. Prepare to run. What do we mean by that? The quality of your plan will determine the quality of your results. So when you plan your run, when you plan to live this life of urgency, you must be willing to sit down. You must be willing to sit down with the right people, and you must be willing to sit down for as long as it takes for you to come up with a plan, a winning plan. This is important. You have to come up with a winning plan, because when your vision is blurry and your plan is mediocre, failure is inevitable. So don't just run. Before you start running, prepare to run. And something interesting I've discovered about running is this. You prepare to run by running. You prepare to run by running. Have you noticed that what athletes do, if they're planning for a competition, okay, the person that is going to engage perhaps in, say, the 100-meter dash or the relay race, what do? They run. What does that mean to us? It means that you treat every opportunity like a big break, that you put your best foot forward always. And when your big break comes, you'll be ready for it. Okay? You prepare to run by running. So treat every opportunity like a big break. Stop postponing your excellence. Stop postponing your best effort. Give everything you do today, your best, because what you do today is your preparation for that opportunity you have been waiting for. So don't just run, plan to run. Number 3, run with focus. Run with focus. We mean avoid distractions, keep your eyes on the goal, concentrate all your effort on the plan, okay? Avoid sideways energy. So there's something I call a focus test. It's a very simple question that you should ask yourself from time to time. This is the question. Is this the plan or another nice idea? No matter what it is that you are doing, you see, if you don't maintain focus, you are going to drift. So you ask yourself from time to time, this thing I'm doing right now, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this the plan? Or is this another nice idea? If your dreams are going to come to pass, if you are going to move forward in life, you have to keep doing what you planned to do, not what you get to do. So take the focus test. Have I lost focus? Am I distracted? Is this the plan or another nice idea? And finally, don't stop running. So, if you want to run to win, these are the 4 things you must focus on. Run, don't walk. Prepare to run. Run with focus, and then don't stop running. By don't stop running, we mean don't quit. Okay? No matter what happens, don't quit. Because winners don't quit, quitters don't win. And if you don't quit, you will win. So no matter what happens, if you are tired, you can rest. The moment you rest, give yourself a deadline. Set a time for your rest. Don't rest perpetually. Tell yourself the truth. I'm just going to rest a little bit. I'm going to get back and run. I'm going to get back to running. Okay? I am not going to stop running. Thank you for joining me for tonight's broadcast. That is where we are going to stop. If you have any question, quickly put it in the comments, and I will attempt the question tonight. I really encourage you to prepare your questions ahead of time. You can even send your questions to me ahead of the broadcast, and I will answer during the broadcast or the moment you join. Just put your question in the comments so that we can examine it together. Right. Thank you very much for everybody who's been a part of tonight's broadcast. Thank you for all your comments. For everybody who took the exercise, thank you very much for engaging with me tonight. I'm going to spend just about a minute waiting for questions to come in. While I do that, let me invite you to Hill City Church this Sunday. Hill City is the reason why this broadcast comes to you every Wednesday. They have asked me to invite you to this beautiful series. This coming Sunday is the final installment in this series on Happily Married. You don't want to miss it for anything. 10 a.m. at Ikeja, 10 a.m. at Lekki. Just go on Instagram or Facebook, look for Hill City. You'll find our locations there. And if you're outside Lagos, you can join us live on YouTube every Sunday at 10 a.m. Hill City NG for the Ikeja Church, Hill City NG _ Lekki for the Lekki Church. Okay, I have a question here. How can one effectively calculate his performance level without unduly overestimating or underestimating one's performance? So if you documented all that I shared with you, that formula, when it comes to performance, what you need to do is get about 4 people. Get about 4 people separately and have them evaluate you. Okay? Tell them between 20 and 80, how would you rate my skill and drive level? Okay, my skill, those are the 2 things we are measuring. Skill and drive is what makes up performance, skill and drive. So measure my skill and drive. How would you rate me? Somebody may say 30, another person may say 60, another person may say, okay, take the 4 figures, add them together and divide them by 4. Whatever you get, use that. Okay, that's one way of going about it. And look at that number if it resonates with you. You know what I found out? That the average one of us, at the core of our being, we know the truth. Most of the time, it is when we are interfacing with other people that we try to, either inflate figures or bring the figures down. And it's amazing how that some people that are doing very, very well, when they're interacting with other people, they like to dumb down things because they don't want to come across as, the ITK, I too know. And there are some people who in their soul know, I am a 20. But because they want to impress people, they say, oh, I am a this, I am a that. When everybody is not there, when you are sitting by yourself, inside you, the way you were designed by God, the truth is there at your core. Okay, so don't violate your heart, don't violate your conscience, and you will know, look, this is it. All right, but just to get some external measurement, get 4 people, like I said, take their figures together, add, divide by 4. Whatever you get, use that at the figure. Don't forget, this that we are doing is not scientific. This is just something to help you evaluate yourself so that you can develop a sense of urgency. Thank you very much for that question, Joseph. Sadibi said, how do we efficiently draw the line between running and being under pressure? Thank you very much for that question. It's important. Life is a marathon. Life is a marathon. So the difference between proper running and living under pressure is it's not about speed, it's about consistency. One thing about living under pressure is that it is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So anything you are doing and you're always overwhelmed, you're always tired, perhaps you are doing too much. Another illustration or analogy I use for people is to live in your stretch zone. Okay, the value of the rubber band, okay, it emerges when it is stretched, and it's the same thing for us. But there's a level you can stretch the rubber band to, it breaks. So you want to make sure that you are not too relaxed. You want to make sure that you are not too stretched. Somewhere in between stretch and rest is where we're supposed to be living. Okay, that's how you know, okay, I am not living under pressure, I am running. Another thing is your motivation must be purpose, and it must come from inside you. I learned this from Dr. Banji so many years ago. He said that some people have an external locus of control, some of us have an internal locus of control. The healthy one is an internal locus of control. Whatever you are doing must be because this is what God will have me do, and this is what I want to do, because I know that whatever God wants for me is the best for me. It is between you and God, and you are in your stretch zone. You are not trying to impress anybody, you're not trying to please anybody. That's how you know you are in a healthy place. All right, don't forget, life is in phases, men are in sizes. That the watermelon is bigger than the lemon does not mean that the lemon is inferior. Size is not the same thing as value. So the fact that somebody else, perhaps, let me give an example. I heard about somebody who reads one book every two days. Okay, every two days. This lady reads a book a new book every two days. You may not be that, fast, and you are doing one book a month. If that is where you are, be faithful to where you are. It is about consistency, not magnitude of effort. It's important, okay? It's about consistency. Be consistent at your level. Be excellent at your level. This is how you also know that you are not living under pressure. You have joy. You are fulfilled in what you are doing. It gives you joy. That's how you know. When you are, with negative emotions, you are always panting emotionally. No, you are living under pressure. Call a timeout. Slow down. Okay? It's important that we don't live under pressure. Thank you very much, everybody. I enjoy it when we engage like this. So I'm going to encourage everybody, please get questions ready, all right, for next week. And of course, from next month, we're going to have more interactive sessions. I'm going to have people join me live, okay, and we're going to discuss some issues. I think we're going to move to relationships from next month. Okay, this marriage series, we're going to extend and start talking, about our relationships. Okay, that's part of life and leadership. This is what I found out. Most people's leadership are hampered by the quality of their emotional relationships. Okay, so we're going to fix that. We're going to talk about that by the grace of God next month. Thank you very much for your time. Next week, Wednesday is another time, 7 p.m. Please don't forget, after now, this video is available on my YouTube channel. And of course, while you are here, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers in the next about 2 or 3 months. So do your bit and make sure you subscribe and share this video and other videos on my YouTube channel with your friends and loved ones. Let's add value to other people. Let's bless the world. So I'll see you next week, Wednesday. Till then, enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your week. And God bless you. Bye-bye.